Slow.
Living it up in the city.
Sorry, can't play that whole song on YouTube or we'll be in copyright violations, but I am feeling the heartful and a little bit nostalgic for the event that we just finished this weekend. So I was just listening to our opening song and getting the blood flowing before I jumped in. Are you planning to accelerate your business, grow and reach and serve more people between now and the end of the year? That's my question for you in today's Give Voice to Your Vision, where we stop the spinning wheel and we get real, so it is clarity you feel. I'm talking about ways for you to accelerate. And we're going to cover some of the takeaways from the event, some of the things that we did a deep dive into during the What to Say to 100K and Beyond event. For those of you who were there with me, when you jump on in here live, say hey. And if you're just joining us, this is my weekly Give Voice to Your Vision show, your weekly visibility breakthrough. We're talking about transformation industry experts who are called to share a big message in the world and want to have an aligned, thriving, inspired business that will help them create more impact and get their message out there from that satisfying, rewarding, aligned place of answering your calling. So today I have promised to talk about some of the takeaways that we had from the event. One is the secret to confident messaging that calls in clients. Number 2, I'm going to talk about the problem with Perpetual program purchases and Piecemeal coaching programs and how to get the most value out of all those different things that you've invested in to try and crack the code to grow your business, as well as how can you finish this year strong in your business, not just in your process, passion, and calling, but strong in your business means strong revenue. That revenue helps you to create more impact. So the secret to confident messaging that calls in clients, the problem with Perpetual program purchases and Piecemeal coaching programs, and how to finish strong in 2021. That's what we're going to do during this training today. This is our weekly Give Voice to Your Vision. When you hop in here, your tuition, your energy exchange for the training that I'm about to share with you is to like, comment, click, share. Let me know your questions. I create these trainings every week based on topics, conversations, and requests inside my Power Up Your Presence group on Facebook, which you are invited to join if you are not already a member. So welcome. Let's dive in to the secret to confidence. So many people come into the group, come into my events, come in to work with me saying, I really want to grow my business, or I really feel called to share this great big message. But when it comes down to sharing it, I second guess myself. I'm not sure how to say it so that people will understand. I'm a little vulnerable around being direct about my business and invitations, or how do I say it right so that they get it, especially if you're in the transformation space on the more woo-woo end, where you're an energy healer, which people are picking up now. We know this. We've entered the mainstream, we energy healers, but it can feel vulnerable. And so the secret to that confident messaging is ultimately one of the core values of this business and one of the things we shared again and again at the event. And that is this. Are you ready? Write it down. Your visibility transformation, all your transformations really, happen through aligned, inspired implementation. We don't get clear about our messaging and our visibility platforms and flow and how we're putting all the pieces together and then put it out there, because then we don't have real market data. If you don't implement and get your message out there and share it perfectly imperfect, perfect is done, find the most aligned, meaning that tuning fork inside you goes ping when you hear them speak. The aligned mentors, the aligned community, and then get that to support you, to help you clarify as you go and share your message. We must put it out there, have real market data. Did it engage? Did people click? Did people like? We must implement in order to get confident. We don't get confident and then get visible. We get support and get visible, and then the confidence comes after. My confidence formula, my clarity formula is the same. Courage plus action, preferably inspired action. That means following the nudge, feeling aligned, right? Times repetition is what equals confidence and or clarity. Yeah. So the secret to confident messaging that calls in clients is, what are you doing today to get visible? Do you have the support you need to know what to do today to get visible? And expecting yourself to just like bootstrap it and get it out there is really rigorous. I've done the bootstrapping thing a long time. It's not really fair. It doesn't have to be that hard. It can be fun. It can be easy when you allow yourself to be inspired. And inspiration is something we receive. It's not something we hunt down and kill or dig up out of the earth. It's something we receive. So how are you being supported to be consistent? We talked about that a lot at our event this weekend. Consistency is the most powerful thing you can do in your visibility. Keep showing up. That can be hard to do if you're feeling overwhelmed or if you have some backlash or you're not sure if it's working, all of those things. So be supported. All right. So the secret to confident messaging that calls in clients is to implement, right? Confidence comes through implementation. Clarity comes through implementation. What's working? What isn't? How do you pivot or shift or tweak, up level, and go again? All right. The algorithm rewards, all the algorithms reward consistency, and you're going to get better engagement and better connection and better messaging. Your words are going to come to you. You're going to learn the choreography of your words when you consistently implement, and you have the support you need in order to do that. Well, this happened. What worked? What didn't work? How can I up level, right? And expecting yourself to go it alone is a myth. It's a lie. Solopreneur is bullshit. Okay. You deserve help. Your message is worthy of help. You are worthy of support. You are worthy simply because you exist. Your business is a foregone conclusion. You get to have it because you want to. You got to treat it like a business. And we're going to talk about that too. All right. So the secret is what? Transformation through implementation. And then I talked to a lot of people about the problem with perpetual program purchases. There were many people who we were connecting with at the event, and I've heard this from a lot of people that I talk with every day. Well, I've already made so many investments, and I have to finish all of these other investments before I can actually invest in a more comprehensive solution that's going to move the needle, make the difference. So the problem with perpetual program purchases, there are many. Each of them is great. It may be great, really smart people who've done stuff that you want to learn how to do, have created programs, and they're helping you go through that piece of the puzzle with them. And that can be fantastic. But the problem is when you don't have some of the foundational things in place that you need to know how to do and be doing consistently in order to generate consistent revenue in your business. The revenue is tied to your impact. So many people I get to talk with every day, transformation, we just want to heal, we want to help, we want to uplift, and that is awesome. But when we're doing that as a business, that means that we have the more revenue that we can generate for the business, the more impact we can make. And I feel the business is your highest value. It's the biggest way to answer your calling because you're all in, you're taking it seriously, you're committed, dedicated to going through whatever transformation you need to keep going through in order to reach and serve more people. And that in business means more revenue, clients, not always endless forever more revenue, but having the resources and treating it like a real business so that you can have the support that you need to grow, to make a bigger impact, and to put some of the pieces of the business on not autopilot, but have the business support structure and frameworks and team underneath you so that you can do the part that you're called to do. You don't have to be good at everything. So another problem with the perpetual program purchases is when you think, oh, I'm going to learn how to do podcasts, and then I'm going to learn how to do a challenge, and then I'm going to learn how to build an online course, and then and you have all these different things. You're just pulled in a million different directions, and you don't have a cohesive strategy to know how you're going to implement those things toward growing your business. A lot of us who feel called, we think of ourselves as kind of our business is us, right? That's one of the reasons we were talking about inspired selling and how do we find our language around enrollment at the event. And one of the things that's really vulnerable about enrollment for us is that we feel like we're self-promoting, right? We feel like we're selling ourselves, or they're buying us, our time, our presence, and then we sometimes don't know the value of that, right? So I'm not sure how we got down that little rabbit hole, but we're talking about the problem with perpetual program purchases without a cohesive strategy. And a lot of times when we buy a program, we might be in a program with hundreds of other people. And it's, especially if you feel a little vulnerable about raising your hand or speaking up, can be hard to have somebody who really knows what's going on with us and can help us customize the learning and the implementation in a way that serves us, serves our business, and serves our clients. So the thing I was talking about just before was this idea of, keep slipping out of my awareness. We're having a little bit of a storm here, so I've got wind howling around us. If you have questions, if you're here, comment. Tell me in the comments wherever you are, what's your experience with the perpetual program purchases. A lot of times when we buy something, we invest in something, and it may be a really great piece of the puzzle. Our brain says, okay, I got that handled, but I don't know anyone who's been in business for a little while that doesn't have a whole bunch of programs or freebies. I call it the freebie mentoring plan. That doesn't work. It doesn't really support you. It actually ends up diluting your attention and focus and implementation. It steals your capacity. It steals your focus. And that's ultimately going to undermine. So we were talking about the vulnerability of self-promotion and you being your business basically being time with you. And that's what I want you to up-level. I want to invite you to consider your business is separate from you, and you are the CEO of your business. You are the leader. Okay, you're the voice, you're the face, perhaps, very much so. But you are not one and the same, so that your business is what is supporting your clients, not just you. And in order to have a business that is supporting your clients, there's a few things you can have in place that make it so much easier for you to consistently call in clients, show up and be visible consistently, and to make more impact because you have that revenue piece in place to reach and serve more people. Now, I know most of you who are here in my world, in my Power Up Your Presence group, you've been doing this for a little while. So there's a time and a place for another specific program that's going to help move the needle forward for you. But we have to have a little come to reality check about, do you have a business? Are you really going to grow this business? Or are you still waiting for your business to prove itself out? Because if you haven't made a decision and you haven't gone all in, then you've got one foot out the door. So energetically, energetically, you're working against yourself, right? It's like we want our business to prove its worthiness or to prove that it's going to work, and then we'll be all in. But that's not how law of attraction works. That's not how the universe works. That's just not how it works. So you ask yourself, are you keeping one foot out and thinking, well, I paid all this money for my coaching certification, so now I'm going to, just kind of get some clients and then I'll invest in my business. If you were going to open a pizza shop, that's not the way it would go. You would have to not only know how to make a pizza, a really good pizza, maybe a pizza that's like divinely inspired from inside of you, but you also got to buy some flour and some cheese and some sauce and some ovens, and you got to have a place to sell those pizzas, whether it's online frozen pizzas or in a pizza shop. There's got to be some infrastructure for that business in order for you to sell a pizza. And the same is true with your transformation business. We go and we invest in how are we going to bring the transformation through, and we learn that we have our own transformation, most of us, and then we show up to share that message, but then we don't treat our business like a real business. We think we have to go out and get some clients and have our business earn its keep, earn its way. And so that is working against you, right? If you don't have a pizza oven, you can't make a pizza. Well, you could make a pizza in your home, right? But you still have to know how to make that pizza, but also have the ingredients and have a mechanism to sell the pizza. All right. And so when you start to think of your business as something bigger than you or separate from you or from you, of you, but not you, it's an important distinction, and it might allow you to understand the value of investing in that business. Most people who start a brick and mortar business have investments, right? They have investors. A lot of us start our business from our own personal credit. All right. But we have to be supported. And if you're waiting for your coaching or your transformation business to prove its worthiness by getting enough clients, it's almost for sure you're going to get caught in this loop of, well, I'll invest in this little bit of support once I make this much money, or I'll invest in this other thing, or I need this thing. And it's so easy to be seduced by the idea of a perpetual program purchase, because you'll go out there and you'll buy that next thing that's kind of interesting or lighting you up, or the next teacher who comes along that stirs your heart. So the solution to the problem of perpetual program purchases and piecemeal coaching programs, a lot of times with a program purchase, you might get a couple of strategy sessions with a coach, or maybe you'll get some laser coaching thrown in, or you'll get mastermind calls, which might have 20 or 50 or 500 people on them, depending on what you buy. So how are you being served? How are you being supported? How are you getting the clarity, the encouragement? We may think, I don't deserve or I don't need encouragement because I'm called. But let me tell you, growing a business is not for sissies, especially in the entrepreneurial space. It is not for the faint of heart. And we do need encouragement. We need to fill the well. We need strategies. We need support. And mainly this training right here today is to up-level your thinking, like step up and own the fact that you're in business. Okay, own the fact that you're in business. And embrace it and let it be a part of your creative vision and your calling. And the more resources and momentum and revenue and clients, however many clients you want. This isn't about like you have to have a 7-figure business or an 8-figure business, but it's about treating your business like a business and allowing yourself to be supported, and let that be bona fide, not just when I get a chance, I'll cobble this together and that together. So the problem with piecemeal program purchases perpetual program purchases and piecemeal coaching program is that you probably don't have enough cohesive support. Somebody who knows how you're putting all of these resources together and how you're consistently getting your message out into the world, and is it working to call in clients? Because there's a whole bunch more than visibility, right? At the event, we talked about visibility for visibility's sake is exhausting. It can be a little transformational if you have a real charge around it, but then you'll be visible, but you still won't have clients, and you'll start to say, well, it doesn't work, or people don't want me, or I'm not good enough. And none of that's true. All right. So the answer to that is having a strategy, having a way for all of those things to work together. And I see people doing that in our accelerator program because they have a team of people who know what's going on with them. We've identified their strengths. We've identified what they resonate with, what they work for. They have support in consistent implementation. What are we talking about on Mondays? How did it go on Thursdays? And that's where I see people getting the real traction and momentum. And ultimately in business, that means enrollment, right? So that's what I see working. That is the answer, is having that cohesive strategy and someone who knows that you resonate with, and a community of people that are also committed to taking that implementation and aligned, inspired action to seeing what happens, sharing results, sharing ideas, and then what are we doing next? Keep going, having the uplifting in the community, the support to keep going, and also having somebody who will be like, all right, is that really on target for you, right? Is that serving your greater goal, or is it a shiny object? There's so many shiny objects. Forgive yourself all day long. We're all distracted. We are more distracted. Your clients are more distracted. You are more distracted. Your family's probably more distracted. We're more distracted. But that's just the way it is, life on life's terms. Yeah. So how do we focus? How do we stay aligned? How do we stay tuned in? How do we continue our momentum and growing, accelerating even with the distraction? Because it's not going away. Technology is going to keep coming. The virtual world has been accelerated forever. It's not the evil bad thing either, right? How can we use it? How can we fill our soul up and share our message and grow our business? So I'm just going to recap, and then we're going to end today with how to finish this year strong. So first, we talked about the secret to confident messaging that calls in clients. The secret to confidence, my confidence formula, is courage times inspired action, courage plus action times repetition equals confidence and clarity. Yes, we need support. Yes, figuring out how we talk about, we did a whole 3-day event on how do I talk about what I'm called to do in a way that attracts and enrolls clients, right? We could talk about that forever. But the secret is to being confident and to calling in clients is focus, consistency, implementation, and having the support you need to see where it's working and where it isn't. All right. And then we talked about the problem with perpetual program purchases and piecemeal coaching programs. Ultimately, they can be distracting. It can send you in too many different directions. I call it scattershot visibility. And it may not be enough focused, intentional support. The people that I see thriving, and this is why we built the accelerator this way, is that people need a place to show up and show up again with a clear plan for implementation, and then a way to sift and sort what worked, what didn't, what did I show up, why am I not showing up, how can I show up more fully, what support do I need instead of I just need to make myself do it, right? And then you can start to actually move forward. So we've covered the secret to confident messaging over and over again. I've covered the problem with perpetual program purchases and piecemeal coaching programs. Sometimes we need to go all in, invest in ourselves, in our business, in the clients we're called to serve, and have more comprehensive support. So how do you finish the year strong and be ready to soar into 2022 is how we're going to wrap it up today. And I was just talking with another client in Messenger and was reminded about this topic as I was getting a divine synchronicity. He popped into my Messenger and I was just putting together my notes for this training today. And he's looking at another program that's amazing and really good for his business and really powerful. And we were talking a little bit about this being the end of the year and maybe business could slow down and enrollment. And I just know that is not how people think. That is not how business works. I used to think that, okay, the holidays are coming, so nobody's going to want to invest in their business or their transformation. But when I started treating my business like a real business, I was like, okay, as the end of the year comes up, people are we're thinking about those damned New Year's resolutions. We're taking stock of what worked. So whatever the transformation is that you're called to bring, people are considering, they're looking for more, they're asking bigger questions. And this year of all years, more people than ever are saying, what am I doing? What am I creating? What am I here for? What's important to me? And so to finish the 2021 strong and soar into 2022, I just want you to reframe this next, what do we got? 8 weeks, 7 weeks of the year. It's actually a really powerful time for you to show up and lead. Whatever the transformation is that you're bringing through, this is a time when people are looking for more different transformation. They're looking for, it's built into our cultural rhythm. No matter where you are in the world, there's a thing about the end of the year. So we're looking for more transformation, change, evolution, now more than ever, evolution. And business owners, yourself included, you have a business, right? You've already made that decision. You're all in. I hope you did that when we first started talking today. Make that decision, be all in. It's a powerful time for us to be considering what our investments are going to be for 2022. We're in a renewal phase. Many of our clients that signed up with us last year, I think so far, I think all of them are that we've talked to are renewing and considering what are they going to do. Some of them are ready to up level to a different level of support, a different conversation. And it's a powerful time for you to show up and be available, be open for business, be asking, how are you? What are you looking to create? What support do you need right now? And this doesn't mean that you have to like work and hustle and drive yourself crazy all through the holidays. No, no, no. But all right, we did it. Haha, we stayed. We're having a windstorm. I'm going to wrap it up. So, the secret to confident messaging that calls in clients is uh, support implementation. Put it out there, share it, hone as you go, learn the choreography of your message. The problem with piecemeal coaching programs and perpetual program purchases that they can distract and dilute your focus and attention and energy.